Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Kumbhakarna was killed in the battle and Ravana is now extremely dejected, and at this point of time he is weeping very badly, and then his sons Devantaka, Narantaka, Trisirash, Atikaya, and then you also have the other ministers, Mahoodara, Mahapaarsvas. All of them come, and Trisirash here talks some beautiful things. He says, I'm an expert at using arrows. I'll use my arrows and I'll kill SriRama, I'll kill Lakhmana, I'll kill everyone. You just give me the orders. He quickly comes out of his lamentations and he then orders that, yes, you go. Then along with Trisirash, Devantaka, Narantaka and Atikaya, there are 4 of them who are starting now. Along with them, the Mahoodara and Mahapaarsva, they also start. So all 6 of them are now starting, and there's a long description of how powerful they are, these guys. Devantaka was a person who was even easily defeating the Devatas and all. So like that, Narantaka, he has a huge horse on which he goes and he kills people, and Atikaya has a huge body and he comes on a chariot and he keeps killing people. Trisirash also, he has got 3 heads and he can do a great amount of fight. Very detailed description of these warriors is given. Trisirash, Atikaya, Devantaka, Narantaka, Mahoodara, Mahapaarsva, all of them start. Mahoodara takes a huge elephant, its name is Sudarshana, and Trisirash takes a great chariot that has got very nice horses. Atikaya also, he takes another huge chariot, as I told before. And Narantaka, he takes his huge Shvetashva, which is white horse. And Devantaka also, he also starts on an elephant. So all these warriors, they start now. At first, it's Narantaka who gets into the war. He breaks Vanara's lines. He starts killing Vanaras, and he has an weapon called Prasa, with which he starts killing 700 Vanaras in a single go. So in every shot of his, 700 Vanaras are dying. The army is running away. Rakshasas are having the upper hand. These Rakshasas, they were making one Vanara hit another Vanara and die. Vanaras were also returning the favor in times, but Narantaka was giving the difference. At this particular point of time, Sugriva orders Angada to go and fight Narantaka. So Angada comes over there, and then there's a huge fight between them. Angada uses all types of Parvata Shikharas, trees, with which he is trying to harm Narantaka, but Narantaka is not harmed. Instead, he is using his Prasa, and using the Prasa, he tries to hit Angada on his chest. The Prasa itself breaks. He also hits Angada very hard, so that there's blood oozing from Angada's head. That's how hard he also hits Angada. After a few minutes, his Prasa is broken because he tries to hit Angada on the chest. The moment Angada realizes that this guy is not having his Prasa, or it's broken, he quickly goes there and he hits Narantaka's horse, and Narantaka's horse falls down. Narantaka rises and he tries to fight with Angada, and Angada quickly makes a full fist, and with that he hits Narantaka on the chest, or the Vakshasthala, and that's it. Narantaka dies. Angada is shocked at his own brilliance. Now Devantaka, Trisirash and Mahoodara, all 3 of them now start attacking Angada. Angada is trying to reply. He's trying to fight all 3 of them at the same time. On one hand, Trisirash is putting a lot of arrows on Angada. Devantaka and Mahoodara, they are using their powers to hit him. Angada is escaping the fight on all the fronts. And when he is moving across, to dodge the arrows, to parry the blows, Trisirash keeps shooting arrows on his face. Looking at the troubled situation in which Angada is, Hanuman and Neela, these 2 people, they quickly rush to the aid of Angada. And here Devantaka also uses all sorts of powers to stop Hanuman. Trisirash is also using all sorts of powers to stop Hanuman, but they are not quite successful. Hanuman reins in both Trisirash and Devantaka. Neela quickly comes in and he restrains Mahoodara. This way, they give Angada some breathing space. In the interim here, Angada goes and hits Devantaka's elephant. Devantaka's elephant dies. He hits Devantaka also. He also falls. All 3 of them again are on Angada. At this point of time, Hanuman intervenes. Devantaka quickly starts hitting Hanuman quite quickly. Now, Swami Hanuman realized that there is no point in elongating the war here, because Angada is already getting tired and Hanuman has actually come to rescue him. He sees that Devantaka is actually doing a lot of things which are troubling Angada a lot. So Hanuman quickly flies into the air and he hits Devantaka on his head. And that's it. At one shot, Devantaka's head crushed. His teeth come out, his eyes come out, his tongue was, hanging from the skull. and he dies. Looking at Devantaka's death, Mahoodara becomes very angry and he starts putting a lot of arrows on Neela. And Neela is now, Mahoodara is not even letting him move aside. He's raining arrows on him. Neela falls down. Quickly, he comes back to his senses and he flies into the air with such a huge speed. He brings a small hillock, and with that hillock, he hits Mahoodara, and Mahoodara falls along with his huge elephant, and they both die. So he hits with that hillock on Mahoodara's head actually, and in that one shot, not just Mahoodara, even the elephant, both of them die. Now, Trisirash is the son of Ravana. Mahoodara is like a cousin of Ravana. So he sees like his father's cousin, like brother, has died. He becomes very angry. Trisirash becomes very angry, and he starts pushing so many arrows on Hanuman. Hanuman uses a boulder sort of thing that is over there. Mahoodara breaks it, and then Hanuman starts throwing one tree after the other onto Trisirash. Trisirash is cutting one after the other. He is also breaking all the trees. He's cutting all of them in the air. And then Trisirash now takes out a Shakti and he puts it towards Hanuman. Hanuman catches hold of it mid-air and he breaks it. So the moment his Shakti is lost, Trisirash is shocked, and then he takes out a sword and he tries to put it on Hanuman's chest. He tries to pierce Hanuman's chest using it. Trisirash is quite close to him now. Hanuman uses his palm and hits Trisirash on his chest, and that's it. Trisirash loses consciousness. He falls down. He leaves the Ayudha alone. Okay, Hanuman immediately takes out that sword, and all of a sudden, this Rakshasa, he is again rising, and he jumps towards Hanuman, and he hits Hanuman with his fist. Hanuman gets very angry for being hit. Trisirash was having a huge crown on his head, which Swami Hanuman takes away. And then he gets hold of Trisirash, and then he cuts off Trisirash's head with the sword that he is carrying in his hand. So with Trisirash dead, all the Vanaras were very happy. Mahapaarsva, he enters the fight. Rishabha, another Vanara, he stops him in the fight. They both fight for a long time. Mahapaarsva keeps creating a lot of trouble to Rishabha, and at one point of time Rishabha gets close and he hits Mahapaarsva on his chest, and Mahapaarsva loses control, and the huge gada that Mahapaarsva was carrying, he leaves it. So Rishabha quickly takes it. And once Mahapaarsva is again woken up, Rishabha hits him with huge gada or the mace, and he keeps hitting him till Mahapaarsva breathes the last. And Mahapaarsva is dead now. Atikaya, who is seeing all this from a distance, he now enters the battlefield and he starts killing Vanaras. Then all the Vanara commanders, Rishabha, Mainda, Dvivida, all of them, they now enter the fight with Atikaya. They try to stop him, but they are not able to stop him. Atikaya is moving forward. Lakhmana looks at this and he asks Vibhishana, who is this guy? What is he doing? And then Vibhishana tells him he's Atikaya. He's one of Ravana's sons. He's here to do all this. So you have to act quickly to do something to Atikaya. So Lakhmana immediately takes out his dhanush, his banas, and he enters the battlefield. And by this time, Atikaya has humbled all the Vanara veeras, and he's saying, I am in a position of advantage. I am on a chariot. I can move fast across your armies. If there is someone who can stop me, they can come and stop me. That's when Lakshmana goes. Now Atikaya and Lakshmana have a conversation where Atikaya says, I'm going to send you to Yamapuri. Lakshmana says, don't overestimate yourself. And that's the gist of their conversation. Then the huge fight between both of them start. Arrow to arrow. Every arrow of Atikaya, Lakshmana gives an answer. For every arrow of Lakshmana, Atikaya gives an answer. At some point of time, they both realize that it's not normal and they have to start using astras. Lakshmana starts off with an Agneyastra. Atikaya uses Saurastra to stop it. And then Atikaya uses Twastastra. Lakshmana uses Indrastra to break it. Atikaya uses Aishikastra. Looking at the Aishikastra being neutralized, he uses Yamyastra. Yamyastra, Lakshmana reverts it with using Vayuvyastra. Like this, they both fight for some more time. And now Lakshmana is getting an upper hand, but he is using a lot of arrows, but none of them are able to break the impregnable kavacha that Atikaya was wearing. Vibhishana tells Lakshmana, even before this fight starts, that Atikaya's armor is his protection, and if Lakshmana, you want to win over, you have to do something to that armor. So Lakshmana keeps volley after volley of arrows, but Atikaya is neutralizing everything that Lakshmana is sending, and his kavacha is becoming his huge strength. Lakshmana is getting tired. The war is getting prolonged. Atikaya is not able to answer Lakshmana, but then he is also not harmed. At this particular point of time, Vayudeva comes near Lakhmana and says, use Brahmastra and that will kill Atikaya. Lakhmana immediately takes out an arrow, puts Brahmastra on it and leaves it on Atikaya, and that cuts away Atikaya's decorated head from the rest of his body. This way, all the 6 warriors who came, Devantaka, Narantaka, Trisirash, Mahoodara, Mahapaarsva, Atikaya, all of them die. And Ravana is aghast with this news, and he asks his Dwarapalakas and he asks his army to guard the city properly. Now, what does Ravana do next, and what will happen? Whom is he going to send next? How is he going to plan the rest of the war? That we'll be seeing in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhiनः sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet sarvam sadguru Sri Sai Maharaj Swam Charanarvindarpanastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.